Jim Carrey's sudden absence from the Oscars this year has left fans and critics alike asking the same question. Where is he, and why hasn't he been seen in public? For someone who has always had a larger-than-life presence in Hollywood, Carrey's disappearance is more than unusual. It's alarming. Rumors quickly began circulating online, fueled by the strange claim of a man named Alexis Stone, who said that he had actually replaced Carrey as a body double during the Caesar Awards in France. This raises an unsettling possibility. If Carrey was not appearing in public even at such high-profile events, what was happening behind the scenes? Compounding this mystery is the fact that Carrey hasn't made headlines or public appearances in a long time, leaving fans wondering whether he simply chose to retreat from the spotlight, or if something far more serious was at play. Cat Williams, a figure known for speaking openly about Hollywood's hidden truths, has recently begun to pull back the curtain on what he believes may have caused Carrey's absence. According to Williams, the forces operating behind Hollywood's glamorous facade are darker and more complex than most people realize. There are those who suggest that Carrey's outspoken nature and refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations may have led to consequences beyond what anyone could imagine. In this context, Carrey's disappearance is not just a celebrity story. It is a symbol of the tension between truth and power in an industry notorious for protecting its secrets. The question lingers. What happens to those who refuse to play by the rules? And why are they often forced out of the limelight, whether voluntarily or by circumstance? Alexis Stone's claim that he replaced Jim Carrey at a major awards event adds a layer of intrigue and suspicion that cannot be ignored. The notion of a body double standing in for a celebrity is in itself unsettling, but it becomes even more significant when placed within the context of Hollywood's alleged hidden power structures. Cat Williams, speaking on these issues, warns that the disappearance of certain individuals is often tied to what he calls behind-the-scenes work that involves confronting dangerous or even supernatural opposition. Williams explains that some disappearances are strategic. They are not merely about avoiding the public eye, but are essential for navigating a system that punishes those who speak out. The implication here is that Carrey may have voluntarily removed himself from public scrutiny, not simply to relax, but to protect himself and continue his work in a hidden, guarded space. This makes his absence not just mysterious, but almost purposeful, signaling that there are unseen forces and pressures influencing the actions of even the most high-profile figures in Hollywood. The narrative paints a picture of an industry where silence is enforced, not just socially, but through a combination of career manipulation and the subtle application of fear. By framing Carrey's absence in this way, Williams raises questions about who controls Hollywood and how those in power maintain the illusion of glamour, while allegedly suppressing voices that dare to reveal inconvenient truths. In short, Carrey's story is not an isolated incident, but a glimpse into a pattern that many insiders, like Williams, have been trying to expose for years. Hollywood has long been a world of extremes, where the line between fame and invisibility can shift overnight. Cat Williams often speaks about a culture of oppression and enforced silence, suggesting that individuals who challenge the system too directly are either cast out or vanish entirely. Jim Carrey is widely considered one of the few celebrities who consistently spoke the truth about the industry, criticizing the lack of authenticity and the manipulative structures behind the scenes. This outspokenness, some believe, has put him in a precarious position. Carrey's critiques were not limited to jokes or interviews. They were statements challenging the very foundation of Hollywood's celebrity culture. Williams describes disappearances not as mere coincidences, but as calculated responses to those who threaten the status quo. People like Carrey, who draw attention to systemic issues or supernatural influences, can inadvertently become targets of isolation, public humiliation, or subtle coercion. This is compounded by examples from other insiders, such as Corey Feldman, who revealed that Hollywood's mechanisms can silence even those who attempt to expose them. The pattern becomes clear. Success and visibility in Hollywood come with a hidden price, and questioning the established system, even in the form of comedy or critique, can carry severe consequences. The setup of Carrey's disappearance, therefore, is not just a story about one actor, but a broader reflection of Hollywood's treatment of truth-tellers, offering viewers a chilling glimpse into a world where speaking out can be dangerous and where fame does not always protect against invisibility. Carrey's career is filled with moments that illustrate his willingness to question the industry. One notable instance was his appearance at the 2016 Golden Globes, where his speech deviated sharply from the standard polite comedic remarks. Instead, he questioned the very concept of awards and the culture of Hollywood, using humor to highlight deeper philosophical points. Similarly, in 2019, Carrey was reportedly humiliated at an awards ceremony, allegedly as a response to his refusal to conform. These events, while humorous on the surface, fed into a narrative of an industry that punishes deviation from the norm. Observers note that when Carrey openly critiqued the system, it sparked rumors and reinforced the idea that Hollywood actively discourages dissent. In addition, his commentary on fame, identity, and the illusion of celebrity adds layers to the story. Carrey often discussed the emptiness behind stardom and the constructed nature of public personas, which challenged not just the industry, but the audience's perception of celebrity. The public's reaction to these moments was a mix of laughter and confusion. But insiders understood that Carrey was signaling something more profound, a critique of Hollywood's machinery and the control it exerts over those within it. These strange moments, therefore, serve as evidence that Carrey's disappearance may be more than a personal choice. It could be a response to the pressures and punishments faced by those who speak uncomfortable truths. As Carrey began to speak more openly about the nature of fame and identity, some fans believed he was experiencing a spiritual awakening, seeking meaning beyond Hollywood's superficiality. His references to spiritual teachers and the search for truth hinted at a deliberate effort to step away from the system. However, others suggest a darker explanation, that Carrey's questioning of the system and his public mockery of awards and celebrity culture might have triggered retaliation from powerful forces within Hollywood. Cat Williams warns that individuals who expose or challenge these structures are often systematically silenced. Corey Feldman's revelations about abuse rings and Elijah Wood's observations about career limitations suggest that Carrey's experiences were not unique. The industry, according to these insiders, is structured to reward compliance and punish dissent. Those who question the status quo may be forced into isolation, subtly pressured, or publicly humiliated to prevent them from influencing others. This deep dive highlights a recurring theme in Hollywood: the tension between individual integrity and systemic control. Carrey's actions, whether motivated by spiritual insight or a desire for truth, positioned him against a powerful system that is both invisible to outsiders and ruthless in maintaining its boundaries. The narrative paints a picture of a celebrity caught between personal enlightenment and a culture determined to suppress it.